Welcome back, everyone, to AI.
Yeah.
And I today we're going to kind of dive into a topic that I think we all struggle with at times,
Okay.
and that is age-related self-doubt.
Internalized ageism.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's that voice in our head that says, "Am I too old for this?"
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, we've been talking about it.
Right,
We sort of absorb all these societal expectations about what we should be doing or what we should be achieving at certain points in our life.
right,
And it really does, start to shape our beliefs about what's possible for us.
right. Yeah, like we've got this internal clock or timer ticking away, and if we haven't hit certain things by a certain time, we're like, "Well, I
Yeah.
guess I failed."
Exactly. And that's internalized ageism, It's when we unconsciously buy into
Right,
these stereotypes about aging
right.
and start applying them to ourselves, and we don't even realize we're doing it.
Right. And so instead of seeing all the amazing things we can accomplish, we start focusing on all the things that we think we can't do
Ex-
just because of a number.
And it's so self-limiting,
Yeah.
because it leads to a fear of failure, a reluctance to try new things,
Right.
and this general sense that, we're past our prime.
Yeah. Putting ourselves out to pasture
Exactly.
before we're even ready.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing. You ready for this? There's an 89-year-old app developer in Japan who didn't start coding until he was 75.
Whoa. Wait, 75.
75.
Wow, that's incredible.
His name is Tomiji Suzuki,
Okay.
and he spent his whole life as a car salesman.
Okay.
But deep down, he always had this passion for computers and technology.
Mm-hmm.
And he just got to a point where he was like, you know what? I'm not letting age dictate my dreams anymore.
I love that.
So at 75, he jumps into coding.
Wow.
I mean, how challenging was that?
Yeah.
I mean, to learn something as complex as coding.
Right. And at that age.
At that age, he had to be surrounded by people so much younger than him.
Right.
I mean, did he feel out of his depth? Did he feel like, what am I doing here?
You know what I think is so inspiring about this story is that it completely shatters the myth that learning has an expiration date.
Right.
Here he is diving headfirst into this new field at an age when, many are starting to think about retirement.
Right.
He's a real life example of how age really is just a number.
It's not even about becoming an app developer.
Right.
It's about the courage to pursue what lights you up, regardless of what your driver's license says.
Absolutely. It's, and it's so fascinating, too, because he didn't stop at just learning to code.
Right.
He's actually using his newfound skills to make a difference in the lives of other elderly people.
Oh, wow.
He developed all these apps designed to help them navigate the challenges of aging.
So he's proving that he can learn new tricks, and he's using it to give back to his community.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing. What kind of apps are we talking about here?
One of the apps he created helps elderly people remember to take essential items when they leave the house.
Oh,
Like their wallets, their hearing aids, their medication.
okay.
He even incorporated his granddaughter's voice into the app as a reminder.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
It's like a little piece of family helping them stay organized.
Right, and stay independent.
Yeah.
And, it really highlights something really important about aging, and that is it's not just about decline and limitations.
Right.
It's about experience and wisdom.
And a different perspective.
Yes, exactly.
So instead of focusing on what we can't do as we get older, we should be leaning into the unique strengths that come with age.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Think about it. With age comes a deeper understanding of human needs.
Right.
A broader perspective on problem solving.
Yeah.
And often, a stronger sense of empathy and compassion.
Right.
These are incredible assets.
Right.
Especially in fields like technology, where innovation often hinges on solving real-world problems.
So it's like Tomiji is a living example of how those productive years we often hear about.
Right.
They aren't just some arbitrary time frame. It's more about a mindset, a willingness to stay engaged
Yeah.
and curious and active in pursuing our passions.
I couldn't agree more. We often hear people talk about the productive years as being somewhere between the ages of 20 and 70.
Right.
But what if we challenge that notion?
Yeah.
What if we said that productive can happen at any age?
It's like saying that just because you hit a certain age doesn't mean you have to hit the brakes on your dreams and aspirations.
Right. You could be
Yeah.
35, 55, even 85 and still have decades of potential ahead of you.
Decades. I mean, think about that.
Yes.
If someone is 35,
Mm-hmm.
they potentially have another 35 years of active, engaged, fulfilling years ahead of them.
It's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time to learn new skills, change careers, start businesses. Right. That novel you've always dreamed of, the possibilities are endless.
So instead of feeling limited by age,
Right?
we can start to see it as this expansive horizon
Exactly.
filled with opportunity.
And that's where the real magic happens. When we let go of those internalized age limits,
Right.
we open ourselves up to a whole new world of possibilities.
But it's easier said than done right.
Right.
I mean, it's one thing to intellectually grasp the concept of lifelong learning and all that.
Right.
But how do we actually combat those deeply ingrained beliefs about age that can hold us back?
That's a great question. And I think, it starts with becoming aware of those negative thought patterns.
Okay.
Pay attention to how you talk to yourself about your age.
Okay.
When you catch yourself thinking, I'm too old for this, or it's too late for me, stop and challenge those thoughts.
So it's like catching ourselves in the act of self-sabotage.
Exactly. And just ask yourself, is this belief really true?
Okay.
Or is it just something I've absorbed from society?
Okay.
More often than not, we'll find that, these limitations are self-imposed.
It's almost like we're carrying around these invisible scripts
Yes.
about aging that we've unknowingly internalized.
So it's like we're all actors in this play called life. Right.
And we've been handed these outdated scripts that tell us how to act,
Yeah.
what our limitations are supposed to be based on our age.
But here's the thing. We can reread those scripts.
Exactly.
We have the power to choose a different narrative.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
We can choose to embrace a narrative of growth, learning, and possibility regardless of our age.
Okay.
And it's never too late to start rewriting that script.
So how do we start?
Yeah.
What are some concrete steps we can take to challenge those limiting beliefs and start embracing this more expansive view of aging?
Yeah, it feels like we're really talking about like a complete mindset shift here.
Yeah.
Moving away from this aging equals decline, and more embracing that, we can continue to evolve and grow throughout our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about, recognizing that aging isn't a countdown to irrelevance.
Right.
It's about, accumulating experience, wisdom, and a unique perspective that you bring to the table.
And, Tomiji's story really exemplifies that.
Right.
He's not just passively accepting limitations that society might place on somebody.
Right.
His age. He's actively shaping his own path.
Yeah.
And using his knowledge to really make an impact.
Exactly. And, he's not alone. There are so many other examples of people, thriving and achieving incredible things well beyond those so-called productive years.
Right.
Artists, entrepreneurs, scientists, activists of all ages who are really proving that, age is not a barrier.
Right.
To creativity, to innovation, or making a difference.
It's like you're saying, forget the script, I'm writing my own.
Absolutely, and that's something we can all do.
So how do we do that? How do we start?
Yeah, it's one thing you've always wanted to learn, but felt like you were too old for. What if you just gave yourself permission to try? You might surprise yourself.
That's a powerful question.
Yeah.
For us all to consider. It's about reclaiming our agency.
Yes.
Pushing past those self-imposed limits.
Yeah.
And stepping into the unknown.
Right. And remember, learning doesn't have to mean going back to school or getting another degree.
Right.
It can be as simple as, taking an online course or joining a local club or even just picking up a book on a subject that's always fascinated you.
It's about nurturing that spark of curiosity, that thirst for knowledge that keeps us engaged and growing.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing is that this kind of growth isn't just beneficial for us as individuals,
right?
But it also has a ripple effect on our communities and the world around us.
Okay.
When we embrace lifelong learning,
right?
We bring fresh perspectives, innovative ideas, and a wealth of experience to the table.
It's like we're all contributing to this tapestry of human knowledge and experience.
Exactly. And there's room for everyone.
Regardless of age.
Regardless of age. Tomiji even joined a network of older adults who were interested in technology.
Yeah.
So, it just proves that community and connection are so essential for growth and learning at any age.
It's about finding your tribe, surrounding yourself with people who support your journey.
Right.
And sharing your knowledge and experiences with others.
And when we do that, we create this beautiful cycle of intergenerational learning and collaboration.
Right.
We learn from those who came before us, and then we share our knowledge with those who come after us.
A continuous loop.
Exactly.
Of growth and inspiration that transcends age.
This whole conversation has really highlighted how limiting internalized ageism can be.
Right.
But also how empowering it can be to break free from those limiting beliefs.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect takeaway.
Yeah.
For our listeners today, age is not a barrier.
It's an opportunity.
It's an opportunity to leverage our unique experiences, our wisdom, and our perspective to continue learning, growing, and making a meaningful contribution
To the world.
to the world. This has been another inspiring deep dive.
Yes, it has.
Thank you for joining us today on AI and I.
It's been a pleasure.
And we hope that you leave here feeling empowered to embrace all the possibilities
Yes.
that come with aging and to never stop exploring, learning, and growing.